Hello, everybody. It is the Delo, and you are listening to another episode of On the Delo. This is episode 162. So we're on target to do about one a week this year. I don't think anybody wants to listen to podcasts probably more than their couple of favorites, once or twice a week. Or if you're like me, I only subscribe to maybe like 5 podcasts and just try to take them with me on walks or sometimes in the car if I don't want to listen to music. My first priority is music. I don't know about you, but music to me just soothes the soul, and it really depends on the mood. Most of the time it's, old 80s rock and roll, hair metal, but sometimes I'll crank a good Hall & Oates, maybe a little Lionel Richie. Maybe even some MJ, some Michael Jackson there, right? It's funny, my son referenced MJ the other day, and I was like, what are you talking about, dude? He didn't have any, childhood issues that I remember. And I thought he was talking about Michael Jordan. So I guess MJ's Michael Jackson for the younger generation. But albeit, let's get into today's subject. And I'm going to call this one, Why I Deleted Email Off of My Phone. Now, this has been going on for about 3 weeks now. Actually, I'm on my 4th week of not having email on my phone, and absolutely life-changing for me. When I say life-changing, it's not like, no, I get it. It's not like I won the lottery or anything. But I will tell you, I did win a lottery in another essence, and that is the lottery of taking back my time from all of those thieves out there. And, of course, I let them. It's kind of like driving your car during Christmas time and having a bunch of Louis Vuitton bags in there and Chanel and whatever the heck else people buy that's really expensive, right? And it's just advertising all over it. Please take me. So you're driving in your car, you park, you leave the car open, you put a sign on the door that says, the door is open, and you roll down the windows and you just hang the bags from inside the car. You just hang them so everybody can see the symbols. And it's like, it's open. Come here. And it just leaves it open for a thief to just come take it. Like, why wouldn't they? It's an open invite. And I felt the same thing about email, quite honestly, because my response time, like, if you could ever predict a response time on somebody getting back to you after emailing me, it's literally within seconds, right? Because I felt like the email was a part of me. It was a part of my response. It was like breathing, right? We don't really think about breathing, but we know that we have to, and we know that we do it. Well, email for me on my phone was so reactionary, and it was so responsive to making sure that everybody's needs were met except for my own, right? And it's not to say that, look, good customer service and acknowledgement and getting back with people isn't like still ingrained in the body of what I do as a human being and as a person, but holy moly, like, it's not it's not very good for the internal, let's just say, the internal system that makes us run as human beings, to be so reactive to everything. So how did this all come about? Well, if you're watching on YouTube, I got this book referred to me by another really, really good friend of mine. He also happens to be an insurance broker in hospitality. His name is Cliff. He's a little bit more analytical than I am, which is not too hard because I'm just a bumbling mess, right? I'm good at talking with people. That's why I do a podcast. I pretty much talk to myself, except for maybe the handful of you that listen. Great. But I love it. And I'm so appreciative of it. And you all are the best. So he referred to me this book called Essentialism. And if you see on YouTube, you can see the cover. And you have one side of it where it's all squiggly lines or whatever. It looks like a mess. It looks like Pigpen's, dirt behind him. And then you have basically a circle that just kind of goes in unison within each other, where it seems to be a little bit more of a organized chaos, I would call it. And it's called the Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less. It's by Greg McKeown. I'll put the link to the book in show notes. This isn't really a book review. This is more or less why I deleted email off my phone and some of the other things that I learned from this book. But I do strongly suggest reading this if you're looking to make a change in your everyday productivity, in your life, in your sanity, in people, again, stealing all the Gucci out of your car and you letting them, right? And that's what I was doing. I was just letting people steal all of my time. And then I would basically be a slave to the computer or to the phone or whatever it was. And to the point that it got really bad. But first, let's talk about email just in general. And let's just talk about like the days that we used to walk to the mailbox and get a letter. Speaking of which, I just got a letter from Jeremy Scott, and I see him 2 or 3 times a week. And we also run a business together, the Built Different Mastermind. That'll be in the link as well. And how cool is it? I don't know if you feel the same way, but okay, why do we order from Amazon? I get it. Convenience, right? We don't want to go to the store. It's really cool when shit comes to your house that you ordered like 24 hours ago, right? But isn't it just as cool to open something up with your name on it? Now, take it a step further. How cool is it to open something up that has a handwritten note in it, that has some sort of language of, I don't know, just knowing that they care about you. And that's what I got from Jeremy Scott. I got a letter from him, got some athletic greens in there, and I got a note about, being able to get a week free and on his app and in his place. And albeit, I have all access to Jeremy. We run a business. But it's so cool still to walk to your mailbox and get something personal from somebody. And same thing with, like, I get birthday cards and stuff like that. So I do the same thing within my business. I like to handwrite letters and do that. And back in the day, I mean, when the Postal Express was going, that was the thing. That was email. Mail was email, right? And then we got into this, I want to say, I don't know the timelines. I didn't really look all this stuff up because I just kind of wing these podcasts, if you can't tell. I did take some notes here. But the thing is like, you look at the 90s probably, and you look at the start of AOL, Hotmail, Yahoo. I'm sure there's other ones that are going on in your head right now as I speak about them. But remember AOL would be like, you've got mail, right? And it would be so exciting because this is a new way for people to communicate with you rather quick. You didn't have to use your hand. You didn't have to go get a pen. You didn't have to take all the time to write all those notes, right, onto a piece of paper, and then go get a stamp, put the stamp on, go to the post office or put it in your mailbox, whatever. This was instantaneous. You could send somebody a letter within seconds over this thing called the internet, right? And to think that all of this stuff is really, it's not that old, folks. Now, I look at myself at 51, I don't think I'm that old, but for half of my life, I don't really think I had very good access to this stuff, which is crazy to think. Maybe when I was 25, 26, yeah, this was going, but not too long before that, this was really non-existent. It was one of those things where people couldn't grasp or wrap their heads around it. We had pagers. I don't know if anybody remembers pagers. I remember my number. It was like 232-6565. I don't think there were any 3 digits in front of it, but it was just, and you would type out like boobs, with the 8 and the 00 and then the 8 and then what was it? I think it was like a 3 and an S. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, boobs was fun to type out, or maybe you could do boobies. Yeah, I think you could do that with the 1. All the childish stuff. Now people send dick pics, right? Live time via their phone. Or boob pics. It's so ridiculous, the stuff that people do. Oh, technology, gotta love it. So yeah, so we had email, and it was one of those things where it was convenient. It was great. It was exciting. It was new. And then fast forward to today's day and age, and you get into, the service industry. And I'm talking about anybody in service, not really per se hospitality, but we're talking about people that, call people for their billing or questions on their policies or things that are, pretty reoccurrent with what we do over here. And albeit I love good customer service, and I definitely have ingrained that within our agency here, but credit to my staff, they are just the best of the best people that have ingrained that and are always so helpful and polite, and I love it. I love the way that they work. They're actually more helpful and polite than I am, because I'm a little bit crusty and old and just impatient at this point. Ask my wife. I am probably one of the most impatient people you will meet, but I may not ever show it to you to your face, right? And it's not that I'm being fake. I'm just trying not to be an asshole right in front of you, because nobody likes that. So that's a little bit of a reframe on me. And now I feel myself with just deleting email, I feel myself a lot calmer. And it doesn't just stop at email. As I read this book and I look through, what they talk about, it's really a recharge of my central nervous system. Because if you get your day going early, which I do at like 3:30, and you got your day going early and you're moving and you're just grinding and you're always on the computer and you're always stuck in this, zone of trying to appease and please and come up with answers and do all this stuff, and you have no way to delegate or do any of that stuff, it gets exhausting. Your whole by 2:00, I'm just, as Jeremy would say, I'm just a bag of shit. I'm just like, again, I get up early. I do a lot of physical activity. I've got 10,000 steps in probably by 8:00, right? And, it's time to eat and rest and now read, which is great. And this is also, by not having to be a slave to the email, it's also allowed me to compartmentalize time and really put things on the calendar that, that really mean something, that really know that on this date and this time I'm going to do that. And the phone's away. Now, the other aspect of what I read in this book and learned, which again, none of this is rocket science. I think it just comes down to getting to that time and place where it's going to resonate. And this just happened to be it for me, which is awesome. It's kind of like when you come to those conclusions, if you were to see like the light of God come hit you in the face and go, right? This was this moment for me. I'm like, gosh, this is great. Essentialism. I bought another one of this guy's books as well. And, I completely subscribe to the world of unsubscribing. Now, let me tell you what that means. So before I deleted the email on the phone, or at least the notifications and all that, I have 3 email addresses. I have one for my coaching. I have a personal one, which, is just for personal stuff. And then I have my business email. Okay, so quite a lot. They all soak into the same box, at the end of the day. But it's a way for me to kind of just make sure that I can compartmentalize things the way that I want to look at them. And I went through each one, and I started unsubscribing the shit out of everything that came to me. There's just so much random stuff, and I know that you all can seriously relate to this. Like, it's to a point where it's just gotten so ridiculous, and that's why Gmail, if you're on Gmail, which I'm on, the spam filters are there. That's why you can block senders. That's why you can report phishing with a P. There's a lot of weird shit out there that just keeps getting weirder. And, I would log in, I'd have 30 emails and 5 of them are actual real. Not good. And you're like, well, how did you get there? I don't know how I got there. Like, I probably just because I put myself out there too much and, maybe looked at too many funky things that I don't know how it works. The underbelly, it's funny because I have a website design company as well. And the co-owner is an absolute brilliant genius. And I don't know shit about any of this stuff. I just know that probably when I go to certain sites, they probably attach onto me, they get my email, and then boom, here I am unsubscribing to stuff. So the point of saying all this is that I'm a huge subscriber and unsubscribing. And even if that means that you have to just get rid of stuff that you say, oh, maybe I'll like something, you just do it, because you won't, I'm telling you, you just won't miss it. And what's nice is now when I log in 4 weeks later, I would say 90% of the emails that are there need to be there, right? They're ones that I need to respond to. So instead of having 30, I actually have 5 after the end of the day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it would get overwhelming just to see your inbox full of stuff. And even if it's just full of shit, you're just like, I still got to do something with this, or you don't. I know some people that look on their phone, they got like 20,000 emails. There's no fucking way I could do that. There's just no way. I would go nuts, right? How people are able to do that is completely beyond me. It's like, seriously, it's like going to the bathroom and just leaving it full and not flushing the toilet. I flush every time. And that's why I like to have a clear, concise way of being able to do things, but it's got to be on my terms. And so in order for it to be on my terms, it's got to be on the computer and not on the phone. And the phone got so bad that I would be driving and I'd be at a stoplight, of course, and I would be like, oh, who emailed me, right? And then I would respond so quick. That is not fair to the person I'm responding to, nor is it safe, nor is it smart on my behalf. So I was just kind of like, what is going on? It's kind of like when I drank too much. I was just like, well, one's okay, but 10's better, right? So if you're going to do it right. So if you're going to check email, man, go all in, especially if you have it on your phone. I would get up during a dinner and I would to go take a piss, right? And I would check my emails. Oh, who's email? Again, it was almost, it was literally like a drug hit. You were just like, what's in my inbox? Now I don't give a shit, and I will get to it when I get to it. And what is more relaxing is now I make it like an event, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to check in the morning before I head off to the office. When I get to the office, I'm going to be able to be present and be attentive to my clients, my counterparts, my marketing people, my staff, any and everybody. And it's so relieving to not have my phone on me, not have to be looking back and forth. The mind is so powerful, but you also don't realize how exhausted the mind gets when you're overusing the mind all the time. And that's where I was getting at. And so holding my phone and taking a piss and checking email and trying to respond to people, just stop. Like, stop. I'm a 51-year-old man. What am I doing? And as I told my wife, I'm like, I want to start living the life that I deserve to live. I've already put 26 years of hard work into this agency and the things that I do. And granted, yes, I'm a creative nightmare. I'm always starting and doing something, but the simplification of my life now at 51 and really focusing on things that I really, really love, right? Like calisthenics, like my dogs, like playing guitar, writing, doing journaling, meditating, all those things now take precedence over checking email. And yes, you know why? Because they make me a more fulfilled and better and excited person so that I can then hit those damn emails with a lot of zest and power and probably a better response than walking to the toilet to say, oh, yeah. And what's also been great is I couldn't do all this without my staff, without them really taking responsibility. I've got tenure here of most everybody is 10 years or more, right? And that's amazing. They know what they're doing at this point. They probably know more of what they're doing with what's being asked most of the time of me than I know, because I'm just not on the computer all day. My job is to get on here, do a podcast, right? Go see people, go to marketing meetings, connect people. I am a connector, right? Connect. We all together as an agency, we're the protectors. And I'm the only salesperson here. So in sales, you shouldn't be in the office, right? I mean, what are you doing? I'm not a cold caller. I don't get on the phone. I don't bang the phones. Let's bang the phones today. Yeah, boiler room. Yeah, stupid, right? It's about relationships and getting in with people. So it's amazing how much this has changed my mindset and my tone and all that. Another way that I was getting spammed, some of you may want to look into this, is LinkedIn, okay? LinkedIn is a complete fucking nightmare. It is a great platform for business savviness and things, but again, why put your email on there for everybody to see, and then they have the bots scan it and then just send you all these unsolicited emails? Hey, this is Akla Balaha, and I have seen that your YouTube channel is not working on all cylinders. Therefore, if you want to schedule a meeting with me, here's my Calendly, and I can make it better for you. Dude, go fuck yourself. Seriously. Like, what are we doing, people? Why? And then my LinkedIn box just gets filled with shit that is unresponsive stuff, right? It's like delete, block, delete, block, delete, block. it's a little crazy. It's a little too much. And it happens so much. I think LinkedIn has become like the spam, the business spam, inbox for people looking for opportunity. That is not a connection to me. That is not a relationship. That is a, we don't appreciate you whatsoever. I'm just going to send you a bunch of random shit and hope that you click on my link so that you can schedule a meeting on our time through my stupid calendar. No, not doing it, bro. So LinkedIn, again, is still a great tool. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. So I actually have created it now where I've blocked out my email address. If somebody really needs me or wants to reach out to me on there, or they get value from what I'm doing, more than happy to help, more than happy to respond. But let's be authentic. Let's be real. Let's not be a bot. Let's not do this stuff, people. Let's just not do it. Going from the LinkedIn to my phone, to the Facebook, to my phone, to the Instagram, I went into my settings and I turned off all notifications, all of them. The only notification I get on my phone is if somebody calls me or if somebody texts me. And if you text me, you pretty much know me pretty well. Unless, again, it's these random texts. And again, I don't, like these area codes I don't recognize, the numbers I don't recognize, and it's just out of the blue. Hey, do you want to have coffee? What are you doing this weekend? I'm like, dude, or whatever I don't even know who you are. So those go right to delete and spam. So if you have texted me from a number that I don't recognize, I apologize if I didn't get back to you, because I'm pretty good within 24 hours, email and or text, to get back to you. But if I don't know who you are and you don't tell your name in the text thread, you are spam. You are going bye-bye. You go to spam world. Ooh, spam world. Yeah, so that's that, right? So I turned off all notifications on my phone, and how relieved am I, right? Now I'm not sitting there like a dog waiting for a treat, for something to pop up on my phone and be like, let me check, right? It's like too much coffee, too much uppity time, and it's, again, put the phone away, right? Put it away. Go do what you have scheduled to do within your hour to be productive. So now I have like hours where I do marketing. I have hours where I know I'm going to this meeting. I have hours where I go see people that I haven't seen in a while, that I have great relationships with, but now I can go see them and I can be in the moment because I'm not worried about what email has just gotten into my phone, right? It's so ridiculous. So I do a lot of time blocking. It's a solution for me. I set the expectations now. And again, this has only been going on for 4 weeks. I have had no gripings, no complaints, no somebody saying, wow, you took 20 hours to respond to my email. Guys, email wasn't made, in my opinion, to be just one of those things where you just respond right away. Email was made, it's a letter, right? It's a pretend like this is on the Pony Express and this thing gets delivered. And when I sit down on my desk, I might be clicking a button, but in my mind, I'm using my thumb to go, and then I'm opening the envelope. And I'm reading, and I'm engaging, and I'm reading again, and I'm thinking of my response, and then I'm responding, okay? And I'm not responding with one hand while my other hand is on my privates, right? I'm responding with two hands, typing away, making sure. And that is just duh. And I'm sure most of you probably don't even do what I've been doing. But again, I'm type A, right? We all know this. I'm almost 11 years, I don't even want to call it sober, but without a drink. It was just whatever I do, I like to be really good at it. So now I want to be really good at compartmentalizing things in my life and feeling better the whole day and not just part of the day. And this has really helped. So turning off all notifications, dictating your time, setting those expectations. Look, if somebody does email you, let's just say, and I'm checking it at night, and I'm like, hey, got your note, don't have an answer for you, I'll get back to you with it. Again, that's setting expectations. That's just letting people, most people, they don't care if you give them an answer immediately. They just want to hear that you're alive and that you're working on it. That has been my experience. My dad has always taught me that. He calls it the okie dokie, right? Okie dokie, I'm working on it, and I will get back to you at this such and such time. And that's all people want to know. They just want to know that they're heard. At the end of the day, they just want to be heard, right? So, and then as far as social media goes, yes, I'm active on social media. I do like social media, but I don't doom scroll anymore. I don't sit there and look through things just to look through, I'd rather read my book. Honestly, I'd rather read my book, or if I'm going to go on my iPad, I'll watch YouTube and I'll watch something educational that brings me joy, not things that are randomly popping up in my feed that, I don't know, just upset me, they really do. And I don't want to be upset at you because maybe I don't believe what you believe. Maybe I think you're wrong. Maybe you think I'm an asshole. I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? None of it matters. None of us are going to be here that long, right? We really aren't in the scheme of things. So I just want to love all of you for who you are and not what I think that you are because of something that you had posted here or there. Now, if I see a picture of your dog or maybe your new baby or you had a great time at the family picnic, yeah, of course I'm going to love that, and that's going to be part of it. But that's really the only things nowadays that I'll even respond on or look at or give you a little happy birthday here or there. But for me, it's post and ghost, baby. Post and ghost, right? So I have a really cool team, a business manager, Alex, and she's really helping me stay relevant in the social media world. And we've dialed that back. I'm off of X, I'm off of TikTok. And now it's like, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, right? My four corners. And so she's posting, her team's posting a lot for me. I'll post some stuff in stories just to stay relevant and to share part of my day. And then I just kind of leave. And what's really cool is that after the first week, my screen time went down 82% for the week. And every week past that, it's gone down double digits, 20s, 30%, even from that. So being very cognizant of that. And I got to be careful because that kind of almost gets into a game to where like I'll just put the phone in a drawer and I won't check it at all just so that I can get down to zero screen time. Now, that's not healthy either because this is a great tool and it's a tool that helps us operate and do things in business. Now, before I let you go, two things in this book I did want to bring up that I really liked. They talk about the power of a graceful no. Courage is grace under pressure, Ernest Hemingway. And when I read this chapter, it really resonated. And again, the power of no it's a gift because as we're starting out in our career, and especially when I was going out to every coffee, every meeting, this and that. Now that I'm older, I have the network, I have the connections, I have all the great accounts. There's a lot of young salespeople out there that want to meet with me. I have to say no, because if it's not going to resonate in the aspect of being able to make sense for me that day, you know what I'm saying, to better my day, I can't do it. I can't take these meetings anymore. I need the rest of my life for my family and for myself and for my dogs. Now, that is not to say that, like, I have a young kid coming in tomorrow wanting some advice. He's so polite. He's so mature. It's like, Mr. DiLorenzo, can I bring you coffee? I really appreciate your time. We set the guidelines. We set the limits for what the meeting will be. And I love doing that because you know what? I'm giving value to him, yes, but he's fulfilling me because he's showing that I have some expertise and some relevancy for his life, and that means a lot. But these blind-ass meetings with people that you just don't know that may reach out to you that are human, that are like, hey, just want to pick your brain, don't get your brain picked, okay? We only have limited amount of brain cells and brain tissue. If somebody's going to start picking that shit, you're going to get dumb real quick, and you're going to get tired, and it's just not worth it. So dare, okay? The power of a graceful no. And then the other thing, too, is uncommit. So win big by cutting your losses. Half of the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly and to saying no soon enough. Josh Billings. So I really love this chapter and what it talked about. But the thing is it's kind of almost like the same thing of saying no, but now it's about uncommitting to things that you used to commit to. All these groups, all these happy hours, all these hikes, all these, sorts of things that if it's not resonating with you and it's not a 200% hell yes, I'm going to be able to give, they're going to appreciate what I give. And, you're going to get a little bit as well out of it. And this, then you got to uncommit to all that stuff and just commit to the things that give you the spark and the energy, and let's just say the life that you want to live 100% of the time, because this is your life, this is what you deserve, and it's all about the beauty of doing that. So thank you so much for listening. Again, this is why I deleted my email off my phone. Hopefully you got a little bit out of that, out of my quirkiness. Got some guests coming up. My wife is coming on the podcast. My doctor, Dr. Park, I'm excited to talk to her. She's amazing. And a few other surprises. So hope you're enjoying the podcast. Please share this. Please give it a 5-star. Give me a review. You all are the best. We're 162 in. We're cruising towards 600. Okay, that's what we're doing, and more, because I love to talk and I love that you listen. So until then, we will talk to you later. Peace out.